started the stream nice and early for this one. Hello everyone and welcome back to another LDRL race. This is round 8 today at the Canadian Grand Prix. And we have a lot to talk about in this qualifying session. There has been a number of things going on here and there, which we'll get into later. We've also got the standings to talk about, yeah, a few little reasons for things. Yeah, it's quite hard to put into words as description, but I promise you guys this is going to have a positive turnout in the long term. So I suppose we'll get into it. Firstly, I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. We have our knock-on out on track, so we'll leave it on board with him. His ERS bar is a little bit glitched on the steering wheel. Okay, so I'll start by saying if I'm a little bit out of character, you know, a bit quieter, family downstairs, not ideal by any means. So I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be too interrupting. It's been quite a big occasion in my life this week, and of course, League Racing has nothing on the event. Riskiest Robin has joined us for his debut. We will get into that next, which is overall team chart changes, kicks and removals from the league, and my two biggest expectations going forward. And I'm going to start by saying, or announcing, that I've had to, well, I say have to, myself and others have agreed that now is a good time to get rid, well, not to get rid, that's just putting it into pretty bad terms, kick from the league for drivers, which I will not name, but just benefiting the, I don't know how to say it. The reaction, benefiting the reaction. I don't want a reaction. I don't want any negativity, hard feelings from this. No, that's not what I want. So yeah, 4 drivers have been kicked from the league, and over the last few days, we've been focusing on some recruitment, some team chart changes, making sure people are happy. And mainly it's all come to life in the last few hours, as it always does before the race. So there have been quite a lot of team changes. We now have GSR Thrasher in the McLaren. He's alongside Riskiest Robin, so when he makes his way into the session, that will be happening. Mercedes stay the same, Ferrari stay the same, Red Bull stay the same. In Renault, GSR Hamilton out. He is not one of the 4 drivers kicked, but has not attended a race, so he will be, I don't know, he'll be obviously unassigned for a while. There's nothing too serious in the league that means I just get rid of him immediately, but you know, that's not what I want. Yeah, he's alongside Big Chungus, who's been demanding a teammate for a while. He's finally got one, but he can't make today. That's Fire King. Moore Island, unfortunately today has, well, he stays at AlphaTauri, but unfortunately today he has had a pretty unexpected for him funeral occurred during the time of the race, so I hope all is well with him. GSR Asian, of course, remains in AlphaTauri, doesn't race. Championship leader doesn't race either today, Sam Cole. He's ill in bed, I've been told. As it stands, there's nobody in Racing Point, but that should change for next week. In Alfa Romeo, you've still got Aaron Ocon and Tax. Haas, well, again, I'm not sure on this one. Maybe something will have to be done here, but LSJ Rundle, no such in that team anymore. He's off to Williams. He's busy today, can't race. He's alongside Davis. So 2 new drivers in Williams. And yeah, hopefully some improved team chemistry here and there. I know that's what people have been asking for within the server, and now I'll get into the kind of reasoning and expectations behind the kicks. Aaron Ocon has retired from the session in the middle sector, so that's unfortunate. So yeah, basically I thought it was about time. You know, I didn't say you were ill. I didn't say you were ill, Sam. Did I? I meant. No. Did I? Okay. Right. Ignore me. Head's gone all over the place. If I did say that. If so, I didn't mean it. But yes. 4 drivers out. That is a combination of activity, when you're not bothered to turn up to a race, and negativity. Too much of that. That's, you know, too many unwanted negative opinions at the moment from certain groups of people, and that just makes things worse. It makes the whole overall situation worse, and that's not what I want at all. Yeah, pretty hard to put this into words. It was a bit unprecedented, but there we go. We shall move on to the driver standings now, before we get into qualifying. And Sam Cole leads the championship by 68 points. It was 67 last week, but it's now 68. Neither of the top 2 racing, so Big Chungus, who is on provisional pole at the moment, has the opportunity to go into second place. He just needs to score 3 points to guarantee that. Echo's Fatality in 4th, can also go second today. He's on 59. For context, Big Chungus 67, GSR Asian 69. Utah Elephant, he's back, testing his injury a little bit. Thankfully, he is feeling a whole lot better with his wrist. And of course, WOR goes to Canada next week, so it's a good stepping stone for him for trying to race with his wrist. Aaron Ocon in 6th place with 50. You know, any one of these drivers can go second place today. And that is basically it for the second place battle today. In the Drivers' Championship, Ferrari on 192 with 1 driver racing today. AlphaTauri with none, so they can't gain at all. That Ferrari lead is going to be very, very secure by the end of this one. Red Bull in 3rd, Renault in 4th, Alfa Romeo 5th, Haas in 6th, Williams in 7th. That was the GSR Axe win, being their only points. But now that Such and Davis head to that team, they're going to bring some points to the Oxfordshire outfit. And McLaren in 8th. They've got some new drivers as well. Mercedes 9th. Should see a bit more of a peak from them in the coming weeks. And then Racing Point rock bottom in 10th. Davis there with an invalidation and aborting his lap. Slowing down at the end there. Riskiest Robin. He's on a lap through the chicane, past the wall of champions. 5 minutes 35 was that. I can't tell if that was a glitch. He was on an out lap or what. I'm not too sure there. But we've got Utah Elephant on a lap. He's in the middle sector. Second sector split. He's running a 41.5 at the moment into the hairpin. Second gear. Rotating the car nicely. Opening up the steering. And now down the straight. DRS zone. The best overtaking opportunity of the circuit with a good slipstream. Speed trap coming up. He'll clock about 207 miles an hour going through there. Braking as late as possible. Ooh, just picking up some understeer and a small snap of oversteer through there. Runs up to the line. It's a 1 minute 10.1. Race is wet at the end. Okay, well, I didn't know that. That's the first I've really heard of the weather. So, we're going to have a deja vu of Baku, and we know how interesting, to say the least, that was there. If you want to go watch that race back, it's available on the Low Drag Racing League YouTube. Completely free to watch, free to subscribe, etc. Did you say it in the Discord? I wasn't looking at the Discord, and if so, I didn't read the notification. So, well, you kind of spammed. Alright, okay, oh my god. Wet race at Wund, end. I don't want to say those words. PG stream. Echo's Fatality third with a 1 minute 10.2. But look at Big Chunks this lap time. Full second quicker on the mediums. Let's go on board with GSR Thrasher here as he's on another lap. Through turn 4, turn 5, a bit twitchy with the steering. Much smoother through 6 and 7 though. He takes a tight exit. Minimise some of the difference. Distance. Beg your pardon. And second sector split. It's a 43s, 1.2 seconds down, but I think this is actually an aborted run. Echo's Fatality, invalid this lap. So we've got Davis now on an out lap as he looks to improve and try and challenge for a win. Yeah, Big Chunks has improved, a lot recently, and fully deserves the opportunity to go and try and win a race. He had the opportunity at Baku though, remember? But the rain came, picked up some wing damage, and even worse, a crash into the castle section, which gifted GSR Asian the victory in that one. And boy, that did mean a fair amount. I hope that wasn't lag. Yeah, there's damage to that Williams. This might be a common theme in the race, as he's not hanging around. He wants to get back to the pit lane to try and run one final lap. Oh, GSR Thrasher is out of the session. That was just behind where Riskiest Robin is. He might have got onto that right hand side curb at turn 9. Does seem like an AI driving. Well, his lap time seems to be appearing. I don't know if they're actually lap times, or I'm a little bit confused with that whole situation. But Davis heading back to the pit lane. My FPS looks absolutely atrocious. Wow. No, that is poor. Bearing in mind they said they fixed the FPS glitch, it just doesn't look smooth at all. Not as smooth as it usually is. Denting his front left tyre into the wall there. First car to make a move out of the garage is the Red Bull of Utah Elephant. Take a look at his outlap. We've got over 3 minutes to go in the session. You can get away with going out as late as 1 minute 30 because the pit lane here, it cuts turn 1, turn 2. It's actually basically the same sort of lap time as what you'd get on a flying lap. It's a very peculiar sort of scenario in qualifying. You can really run the clock down and get the most possible lap time out of the track evolution. No, you're not joining me in F1 2020. I'm sorry, but I'm commentating a league race. No, 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 no. Don't invite me. I'm sorry. Anyway, enough of that. Right, let's watch Utah Elephant then. Into the chicane. Oh, a slide there. Keeps the back end in check. And now starts his flying lap. Into turn 1, braking after the 100 meter board. A little bit tentative, but we've got Echo's fatality leaving the pit lane at a pretty bad time. He pulls over to the right hand side to let him through. So overall, that was quite safe from Echo's fatality. I'm not sure he saw the Red Bull coming. And into turn 5, maybe it's turn 6, I don't know what classifies as a corner here. But purple in the first sector. It's a solid effort. It's a 1/10 improvement. Minimising the distance using the inside, of course. Very wise. Sausage curb hit on the inside. Again, another drift. He picks up some oversteer mid-corner, as is common through the high-speed Canadian chicanes. Down to second gear again. Getting good rotation through the hairpin where Robert Kubica's crash site was in 2007. There we go. I knew that. There we go. Just about keeping it through there. Probably not as much speed as he wanted to carry. But he goes onto the front row provisionally with a 1 minute 9.6. Davis smashing the wall of champions once more. As he's going to give up on this lap time here. And retires from the session. Oh, Utah Elephant and Riskiest Robin. Bit of a love tap off the track. I'm not sure what that was about. Here's Echo's fatality. Need to do Ferrari proud. He's on his own today. Whoa. Never mind. Cursed him. It just had to happen, didn't it? So it will be Big Chungus on pole. He's looking to smash his previous best time here. Just look at the speed he carries compared to the others. Echo's fatality retiring there on track. He's just about got away with that. Utah Elephant not retiring, pulling over to the right hand side. Ooh, gets so much closer to the wall than all the other drivers. Well, that's a cut. He's not going to improve legally his lap time, but it was still a good effort nonetheless. It's Big Chungus on pole then. For the first time this season, he's had some bad luck in qualifying. Few spins, few minor inconveniences with the wall, where his tyres popped off. But here are your short qualifying results. 18 minutes of that done. We head to a 50% race coming up next. Seems like we're looking at a two-stop strategy for this race with Big Chungus on the mediums. He wasn't able to improve. He might get a poor getaway, you never know. And that could invite Utah Elephant into the running, but maybe he'll try a one-stop, but chances are we're looking at two stops in this race. Oh, and that doesn't make things any better with the riskiest Robin there having a moment with the pole sitter. Yeah, that's very unsportsmanlike to leave your position, leave your formation lap position like that and proceed to not pay attention to other cars. So, oh, message. Unfortunately, it's too late for invites. Race is already underway. I can't do anything about that. Race is at 6, not 6:30. Say it every day with the... sorry, every week for the race day. Information's on the Instagram and in the Discord server. Yeah. Anyway, we'll have Utah Elephant that will be looking to take the lead, and this is flashbacks to last season Tier 2 Canada. Oh boy. Saying Tier 2 makes me miss those times, but trust me guys, there is bigger and better things ahead. Foundations are in place, I promise. And let's go and have a good one today, why not? Okay, no, there we go. 5 red lights on here for the Canadian Grand Prix. Let's have a look at the telemetry. It's lights out and away we go. There's the pit stop strategy, getting ourselves in the way. It's a poor start for Big Chungus, and he might find himself down in 4th here as he rams into the back of Davis. Echo's fatality on the inside, and there's already damage for the pole sitter who got a slow getaway. Here in Canada, it's Utah Elephant ahead of Davis. Echo's fatality close to Davis. GSR Thrasher joining in P4 as he gets a slight wobble and hits the wall even more. This is Echo's fatality. We're on board with him into the hairpin. He's forced to the outside here of the Williams. They both break late. Echo's fatality looking for the switchback. Davis gets on the power. Bit of wheel spin. Engine glitch not helping with this whatsoever. Davis parks in the middle of the track. Forces Echo's fatality to go around the outside into the chicane. Surely not. There is contact. And Davis is sent into the wall. It looked like a racing incident to me. But wow. Probably wasn't wise. Davis retiring on track. I mean... really not helping, but thank you very much either way. Echo's fatality, second behind the race leader. Aaron Ocon has gone up to 3rd. Riskiest Robin up into 4th. Big Chungus has boxed onto the hards, rejoins 20 seconds behind the pack, as with GSR Thrasher. They both did have damage. Oh, whoever predicted a penalty on lap 2, well done. That has happened. Yeah, pit stop strategy keeps cropping up. 2 sets of mediums or 2 softs, excuse me. Fastest lap for Echo's fatality at the end of lap 2. As he chases down the Red Bull. Probably not the brand identity Red Bull want, considering their charge on motto. They're bulls, they charge, but it's Echo's fatality on the charge here, as DRS has enabled this lap. He's looking good on the ERS, both actually in very similar conditions. The DRS will bring him ever closer Brakes nice and late as well. Still with the engine bug, which I'm trying to talk over. I want to go on board. Like, very annoying. We'll look backwards here of Utah Elephant. Nice feature in the F1 2020 game mode, but look at that. It was a nice run through the hairpin there. A nice tight line. Late braking as well, coming in clutch for Echo's fatality. As he dives to the inside, he'll make the move before the corner, and surely no casualties here, as Utah Elephant has to slow down, picks up a penalty, taking some avoiding action. Big Chungus now setting the pace on the hard tyres. Used a lot of ERS up on that lap though. It doesn't really matter at the moment. He's closing in on Riskiest Robin by a few seconds a lap now. And that doesn't look to be changing anytime soon. We'll keep an eye on the gap to the race lead. It's a very short pit stop around here. But if he can gain that ground, you never know. He might be able to come out in a strong position after the first round of pit stops. Utah Elephant got close, but lost a lot of time on the exit. So uses the overtake, uses DRS to try and bring himself closer. Gotta be careful through the chicane. As Echo's fatality, that is a slide through the final corner. Utah Elephant goes straight back through, and he's got to do it all over again. Echo's fatality after that mistake. Unforgiving circuit. There's a small tap there through turn 2. I apologise, that is so painful to watch and I realise it, but probably one of the decent angles we're going to have. They're now level on penalties, and that's another slide. He got onto the sausage curb on the inside. It took him off the track. Got his third warning of the 3 that you're allowed before the penalty, and then car didn't like it, and he had another slide. So this time it's going to be gained once more. They're equal on penalties. If you're not aware as well, bit of a livery change in the game. None of those sponsor removals or something. Same with the Red Bull. They've changed some of the sponsorships to match real life. But Echo's fatality is going to come into the pits here. As he pulls in to the Ferrari pit box, they'll strap him on some mediums. And away he goes. In a matter of seconds. Riskiest Robin will come through. Big Chungus. It's going to be a race to the pit exit. Yeah, Big Chungus surely has got him, but remember, the pit exit cuts turn 1 and turn 2, and therefore, Echo's fatality will rejoin in front. So yeah, Big Chungus about a pit stop behind the race lead, but is running some really good pace at the moment. ERS has been a little bit more stable since we last looked, but he's not trying to hang around. Another 3-second penalty handed out there. Aaron Ocon picks up his second penalty. Utah Elephant responds on this lap. There's a little bit of front wing there on the left-hand side. He goes onto the mediums as well. There's position trading as Riskiest Robin goes back past on Echo's fatality. It does look snail's pace through there as here comes Big Chungus. He's... oh my days. Please don't. How humiliating would that be for me? Utah Elephant just... oh, stop it. Everyone's through. I bet they're glad they're through. I don't think any of them have damage, which is the main thing. But yeah, that will be looked into. I don't think that's appropriate driving at all. And yeah, not nice. Lap 7 of 35 then. Battle for the lead resumes. Big Chungus 1.5 behind Utah Elephant. Probably could have been closer without that Riskiest Robin mishap. Lost him a bit of time. It's Echo's fatality that's in the DRS here. Into the chicane, bit of grass there for Big Chungus. Both get through. You guys do need to work together. All three of these on the same amount of penalties. Riskiest Robin speeding into the pit lane. Big Chungus lets him through. I think that was a bit of a dramatic... Yeah, I think that was a bit dramatic, but look at his ERS, look at his tyres, see the difference, and this is what he wants to look out for. I can't imagine he'll go to the end, but the race is still on if he can run similar pace to these guys. Absolutely clear view behind. A Ferrari and a Red Bull in front. Or didn't he just take that with perfection? And now he's the one gaining on Echo's fatality, as Echo's fatality can't get close to Utah Elephant. So plan is kind of backfired, but I won't jump into conclusion too early. There's still the opportunity for the pace to shift in his direction. But yeah, both saving quite a lot of ERS, and this is where Big Chungus is going to start to struggle. He can't really attack. And if he does, he hasn't really got much to defend with. So it's not an ideal situation for him. Getting damage on that one poor start, having to pit, come out with absolutely next to zero ERS. Especially at Canada, where a lot is used, very, very high speed. Another slide through the final corner for Echo's fatality. It's the second time we've seen him in this race do that. It brings Big Chungus close once more. Oh, as he does brake late into turn 1. Mounts a lot of the curb. Into turn 2 does Echo's fatality. But I think there's been a mistake somewhere for Utah Elephant. He's lost over a second. 1 second between first and second. 1 second between second and third. Plenty of points to play for when drivers miss races, as a lot have today. Then another look to see how they take the chicane. Bit hesitant on the power there for Utah Elephant. The chasing two do so successfully. It was a purple sector 3 there for Big Chungus. So we'll just 29.1, 29.2, 29.4, sorry. 29. Yeah, I think that was in fact a purple sector 3. So it's clear the straight line speed is in his favour, and that is what is keeping him nice and close in this affair. Oh, Big Chungus picking up a penalty, as we just saw there. Echo's Fatality have another slide. It's the high-speed chicanes that are catching him out, as often does happen at Canada. Think the Wall of Champions. Think Sebastian Vettel last year, where his win was stripped away by the stewards for rejoining the track, as Echo's Fatality is very, very close now. That's the opportunity to retake the lead. Oh, brakes late there. I don't think he was expecting that sort of caution from Utah Elephant, but that is fair play. That is how you avoid the penalties from racking up. It's what you need to avoid in a race like this. Three DRS zones around this track. 3 opportunities on a lap. Put yourself in a position to overtake. That sausage curb again he mounts, but very tidy through the right left sequence. Top 3 now, all within a second, as it's starting to back him up a little bit now, Utah Elephant. Aronocon picking up his 4th penalty of the day. Utah Elephant. Oh, pretty poor exit, as it was even worse for Echo's Fatalis. It was his opportunity to capitalise. Here comes Big Chungus to the outside of turn 1, but Echoes couldn't fight it with the exit that he got. And once again, tables have turned. Second penalty for Echo's Fatality, so it's Utah Elephant on the 1 penalty that's in the best position here. We will have a bit of a warning penalty check quickly. Utah Elephant, 1 penalty and 2 warnings. Big Chungus, 2 penalties and a warning. Echo's Fatality, 2 penalties and yet to pick up another warning. So it is Big Chungus in the worst position here. But remember, Utah Elephant not far away from his 2nd penalty. So a lot can still change. The engine glitch returned temporarily. Oh, and coming into the pits, Echo's Fatality. He didn't do the Big Chungus from last season and straight line turn into the pits, but down the inside comes Big Chungus on Utah Elephant. Runs a little bit wide, holds the position, kept his car within the white lines, has a moment of oversteer, planting the power out of turn 2, but he gets ahead, but it's a 3rd penalty for Big Chungus. Echo's Fatality has gone to another set of mediums and maybe committing himself to a 3 stop. I'm not sure what that's about, but clean air. Could he get these mediums to the end? Only time will tell, of course. a good time to take a look at the upcoming races. We go to Hungary and then back to the Americas for USA before heading to Singapore, round 11 on the 11th of November, and Mexico, France, Abu Dhabi and Brazil. So, big mix of tracks. Oh, down the inside, Utah Elephant. As I was taking a look at the calendar, that is nicely done inside of the final chicane. Yeah, Big Chungus's ERS is really making the difference here. 10%, he was on 2. Running down the start-finish straight. Lasher picks up a time penalty. Echo's fatality. Only 1.5 back from that. Oh, there's Thrasher into the wall. Now onto pressure from Echo's fatalities. Aaron Ocon sets the fastest lap of the race. Here comes Echo's fatality to the left-hand side. He's not fully alongside as the door closes. Has to back off there as he doesn't feel confident. Now we'll go down the inside into the hairpin. Nicely done there, but Thrasher gets a good exit and is still alongside Big Chungus on the outside of turn 1. And there's a collision as he is backwards and facing the wrong way. It will happen just once there. Thrasher pits, Echo's fatality through into P2. P3, beg your pardon. Certainly these tyres are coming to their end of their life now. Again, my FPS seems to drop. I hope that's not a new bug, and I hope I'm not just seeing things, but for me it did just look very, very clunky gameplay, as all the FIFA players like to say. Aaron Ocon fighting for 4th, but GSR Thrasher gets back ahead. Aaron Ocon, aggressive on the power, had some oversteer. We might see Utah Elephant reacting for the 2 stop sometime soon, but not just yet. He has a lead of 5 seconds. He's the best for penalties. He gambled on strategy in Canada last season when leading the race, but unfortunately the late race pace didn't benefit him in what was an absolutely wonderful 25% race that we had back then in tier 3, tier 2, not yet tier 3. I don't know if that will ever happen, but we can dream. That's okay. Don't set those goals. Seriously, who would pay to watch a tier 3? No, I don't think anyone wants to watch any sort of second tier after the reaction I've had to this season. Overall very negative, but what more can I do? Big Chungus is starting to close the gap again, but remember, he is using an awful lot of ERS. Look, down to 5% down the straight. A 98th penalty for Aaron Ocon, who has the fastest... Sorry, I just got rid of the thing. Sorry, he doesn't have the fastest lap anymore. It's Echo's fatality, who pipped him by 2/10 on those fresh medium tyres. He's now 17 seconds off the lead, so when these guys rejoin for battle later in the race, it could again be a good battle, you know. Can Echo's fatality get the tyres to the end, or will he need to gamble on one more pit stop? A safety car could benefit him, but with the spaced out racing we've had this season. They haven't been that common. Often mid-race when we've had them. We've just passed halfway. Lap 19 of 35. Utah Elephant will be starting lap 20. After he takes the final chicane, which we'll watch him do. Actually, that does remind me, as it gets overcast, we are expecting some rain. So we'll put these guys all on the intermediate tyres. So Echo's Fatality doesn't even have to worry about getting into the end. He can literally wait for the rain, you know. It might pay off. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. And that's what Big Chungus can do as well. I'm sure his tyres are getting to the end of their life. And the spin at turn 1 surely hasn't helped the rear tyre temperatures. Echo's Fatality with another fastest lap, 1 minute 12.1. We're getting closer to the 1 minute 19s, 1 minute 11s. Sorry, my speech today, not very good. I took a walk, there's my excuse of the day. Anyway, we do get close to the wall on the left hand side there as Big Chungus back on the charge. It was 5 seconds after the spin. The gap is now 2 seconds as they come up to lap Riskiest Robin, who can't drive like how he did earlier, because he's ghosted. Wonderful. Echo's Fatality, 12 seconds back. Not running too badly, you know. We're just waiting for the first drops of rain. For it to become our 3rd wet race of the season after Austria. They started on slicks though then, so whether you want to classify it as a wet race, it's up for interpretation. You have Baku, which was 3 weeks ago. It was 3 weeks ago. And now Canada. Hungary last season was a wet race at the end. Oh, phenomenal ending in Tier 1. USA. Never had a wet race at USA in this league. Singapore. Haven't raced there since Season 1. I missed the Tier 1 race. I know, sad. And Tier 2 was fairly clean. Mexico, of course. Title decider in Tier 2 last season. Oh, I think I saw some rain on the camera lens. Here we go. Aaron Ocon has been absolutely ruined for crossing the pit exit line. Here comes Big Chungus. He tried to go to the outside again. That's where he spun earlier. But he keeps his nose in into turn 2 as the rain begins to fall here in Canada. They're battling. They're side by side as Echo's Fatality has put in another fastest lap as he begins. Ooh, and that was nearly a spin for Utah Elephant as the mediums are really starting to wear now. This is... Oh, second penalty for Utah Elephant. That's not what he needed as the track gets greasy. Echo's Fatality closing on fresher rubber, I should say, not necessarily fresh, but that will bring him into the running for the lead. Penalty situation intriguing. If these guys do pit, that will be a perfect opportunity to check them out. So that is what we'll do. Lap 23 of 35. Nobody coming into the pits on this lap. Big Chungus goes through. Yeah, the rainwater really starting to become evident on the camera lens, the virtual camera lens, of course. Fake fans in the grandstand, prepared for all conditions, of course. Yeah, Echo's fatality. It was about 20 seconds, maybe even 23, off the race lead when he made his pit stop. He's now 7 and closing in. He's just set a couple of fastest laps. He's looked the most nervous in the high-speed corners. So if you combine that with some wet weather, he may not feel entirely comfortable, but you can only hope. Look at the gap now. Utah Elephant really starting to drop from Big Chungus as we've got a yellow flag. It's Riskiest Robin. No, it's not. It's Aaron Ocon. He's backwards. He's had to reset to the track. No caution necessary. I think there was a 2-in-1 yellow flag there, which is why my attention was drawn to both incidents. Oh, but look at that. It's struggling to get the power down. Echo's fatality remains about 7 seconds off the lead, but he's going to have to make an overtake soon. Utah Elephant really struggling. Sliding left, right and centre here at Montreal. And here comes Echo's fatality in the slipstream. Utah Elephant defends. And surely he's going to get through here. Once again in the slipstream. He's made one overtake on the inside of Thrasher. He's made another overtake on the inside of Utah Elephant, but there was contact, and that could have easily sent his front axle spinning. Does Big Chungus come in this time? No, he doesn't. I think we're just waiting to see our first mistake from the top 3. Oh, Utah Elephant does come into the pits, but wisely backs off the power. Oh, there's another spin. We've just caught that. Aaron Ocon at the same corner. We've seen him struggle there a number of times now. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 3 as well. It's Riskiest Robin off the track. And you can smell a retirement coming soon. I don't want to call it for any driver, but the spins were very close to the intermediate point. Utah Elephant back on track. It might just be a wise gamble. Utah Elephant is actually losing more time on the intermediates, so neither tyre working out for him. Big Chungus into the pit lane. Echo's fatality into the pit lane. Got to slow it down. He does. That was late. Late braking from the Ferrari driver. Aaron Ocon has to serve a penalty, of course, he got for crossing the white line. There's Utah Elephant in the background. He'll have warmer tyres, but it may not be enough. DRS is now disabled, so very good timing for Big Chungus and Echo's fatality. Big Chungus, another penalty. Right, penalty check incoming. And Big Chungus, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 seconds worth of penalties. For Echo's fatality, it's 6 seconds. For Utah Elephant, I believe it's also 6. So Big Chungus needs a gap of 9 seconds to hold on to his position. That gap has already built up to 6.5 and 11 to Utah Elephant. Eight laps to go in this race. It was a long race, Canada. Ah, yes. Canada. Especially in the wet. Back end becoming very loose. Aaron Ocon, 117th penalties. He spins around once more. Oh, and again into the barrier. There's front wing been taken off. Gets away cleanly this time. Well, you can't go full speed into there. He tries to take to the bollard, unsuccessfully. The yellow flags deploy about 5 seconds too late. Oh. Should come into the pits this time around. He does. Slowly. 20 miles an hour is now the speed limit. Utah Elephant drifting there through turn 7. On board with Echo's fatality. All looks relatively normal. As this isn't normal. Riskiest Robin having to turn the car back around. About to get lapped for a second time by race leader Big Chungus. Six laps of Circuit Gilles Villeneuve to run here. Another penalty popping up there for Utah Elephant, and it all looks a little bit more comfortable for Big Chungus. But remember, if we have another look at the penalties, sorry, let's go to Echo's Fatality. Oh no, he's up to 9 now, Echo's Fatality. And Big Chungus, 3, 6, 9, 12, still on 15. So there actually has to be a 6-second gap, which he's now exceeded. So yeah, it does look more and more comfortable every lap that comes for Big Chungus. But remember, I said this in Baku, and it wasn't to be. A crash in the castle section, the most demanding of corners in that tight, tricky street circuit. This is public roads. These are public roads when F1 doesn't race here. Often filled with snow in the winter, which is why they didn't want to race there this year. Too cold. Just 4 laps to go for Big Chungus. We have a look at the live sort of championship standings. See, Sam Cole didn't make it today. He was 67 points out in front of GSR Asian. Big Chungus will go on to, well, 25. That is 87, 93, 92. Sorry. Echo's Fatality will take another 19, so that is 78. Utah Elephant a 15, which is 67. With Sam Cole out in front on 137. Is there damage for Utah Elephant? I didn't quite see that, but he's come into the pits. Might be a better safe than sorry situation. He's almost guaranteed now P3 and his second podium of the season. Could well have been 3 if we ignore Austria. Last podium back in Italy for Utah Elephant. Two more tours of the circuit. Pressure is building. It all looks under control. Every sentence I speak. Oh my god. Well, should I just stop speaking? Treacherous. I imagine a lot of dry setups being used. Majority of the race dry. Qualifying dry, of course. DRS is enabled here. So it's actually dry enough to go back onto the slicks. So we've only got one more lap after this. I don't imagine anyone will do it. I just don't think it's worth it. But That is interesting. Rain is certainly a little bit lighter. But yeah, nobody's going to come in for the slick tyres here. Big Chungus, one more lap. Remember, he needs a 6-second gap. That's now down to 7.8. 7.7. So there's no room, really, to be cautious and allow that 1 second or more. He's got 2 straights, which will make his life easier. It's back up to 8.1. The rain has stopped completely. It teased us with a shower. There's another penalty! There is another penalty. So that is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 seconds. Wait. Sorry, what? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 3, 6, 9. So it needs to be 9 seconds. It's 8.6. He's gone for it. He's completely gone for it in the final corner. This is going to be only a few tenths here to the line. 9. There's 9 seconds. Echo's fatality is won by the smallest of margins. Unbelievable. That's wow. 0.028 seconds is the provisional gap for the win. It's won by Echo's fatality. After 35 laps at Canada. Of course, it had to be penalties that decided it, but still. Doesn't that just make it tense to the line? That's what we've got. And you know... oh, for goodness sake. I promise you guys there's better things coming, but if we have that, with an improved team chart, with improved positivity for racing, it's a driver of the day for Echo's fatality. He did well. He did really, really well. And yeah, crazy really. On a circuit that even the best of drivers despise, Echo's fatality comes away with all 26 points by 0.028 seconds on penalties, and 3 stops, 2 stops. It was a good race. Some big top 3 battles there. Utah Elephant fell away when the rain came. That is where we'll leave it for this week's action. Join us for Hungary, same time next week, with a replay also available on the LDRL YouTube if you want to relive this one as well. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.